He has been in IWS, the co-founder of IWS Holland, and now he is president of IWS Holland. He's also master member of IWS Global. Jan Min paints these beautiful atmospheric watercolors. I'm sure you'll have seen his work, and today you will see him in action. His paintings are beautifully, they capture the light very beautifully, and sorry, I'm a little nervous because I'm speaking publicly here. He captures these paintings in a very impressionistic way, and he uses clear tones, and his paintings are almost poetic when you see them come to life. And he's also, just to give you another, what else Jan Min is, he's a very respected teacher. He's a member of international juries, and he has a book called Catch the Light. If you like his work, then you can buy his book.
Sure.
Thank you all for watching, and enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe too much honor. Is it good to hear? So?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe a little too much honor, but let's go to work. I love working as well. I love talk with people a lot, but I love painting as well. So for me, it's good to be in balance today. As Joanne told you, I love Catch the Light, and I travel a lot, and from time to time I'm really flabbergasted what I see in nature, all the beautiful lights, and then I'm real emotional, and when you are real emotional you try to translate this on the paper to express your emotions. So I did take an example. Early this year in March we were in the north of Norway, which is really beautiful country, and it was on my bucket list to go to the Lofoten. It's a very serene surroundings, old fishing villages, but the light, it's amazing, the light, and wherever I am I want to catch the light. And Joanne told us I made a book from all my works, and it's called Catch the Light. Okay, so I made some photos. Very often I make a combination of photos, because only painting a photo, that's not good. You want to give the mood, you want to make a story, and there must be a story. So I made two photos. This one with an amazing light and amazing contrasts, because there's light only when there's contrast, and when there are dark and cool, warm and cool colors. But this is quite empty. It's quite empty. It has not a real story. So a few moments later I saw this beautiful fishing boat. It's 100 years old, and so I wanted to make a combination in the story. Okay. So this will be my reference, and the boat I did put in the middle. I prepared a little bit to bore you not too much. So I made a composition with the boat in the middle, and I want to try to catch that light. The colors I do use is all Daniel Smith. Excuse me for the dirt skirt, because I always clean my hands on my mother got Gracie from me, because when I was 6 years I did the same. So, but I'll get a new one.
You're not old.
You don't have the excuse for anything. So.
Yeah. I used cobalt teal blue, duochrome green pearl a little bit, because that has an Arctic green. It's an amazing color. King's Royal Blue. John Cockley from Daniel Smith, he did make it for me because it is a very warm blue. Because blues can be cold and they can be warm as well. And I'm some blue addict. Yellow ochre, Payne's blue grey, lavender, that's a lovely color, even in combination with a little burnt sienna. And this is a color, from time to time I eat it, Alvaro's Caliente grey. And a very, very little bit titanium white. Okay, so let's start painting the sky. I pre-wetted first, making use I need some more. Because the background of the sky is a little bit yellow, and pre-wetting has the advantage that you can work some longer. Okay, but there's also some blue in it. Pace. Okay. But now the moment is there to make use of my wet background and to put in it the very grey clouds, which are really impressive. And I want to darken it here as much as possible to make a very sharp contrast with this snowy iceberg mountain. Spray some. you never can exactly predict what you will meet. So sometimes you need some presence.
Which brushes are you using?
I do use the flat ones are Herent, it's now called EO. And these brushes are Tintoretto brushes, they're excellent. I use the flat ones for reflections. They are very great tools. And the bigger ones are Escodas. It's the range from Joseph's Bookvik. They're real excellent tools.
Nice and fluffy.
Yeah. I'll lift some parts. Lifting is a wonderful technique to make some more lights. And when the paper is wet or even damp, you can profit from it. I love to make some soft edges as well. It's a lost and found edge. Because the most white of the whites will be here in this snowy mountain. So making watercolors is also think what you want. What is what you want? You must have it here at the backside of your brains. Okay, let's take the white off the paper. I love to start the water, then it can dry. Because when you use too quickly your hair dryer, it can ruin all your painting. And it's a very strong one, so when I'm impatient and I put on my hair dryer, boom, then all's ruined.
Ian, is it too wet to show it to?
I think that will be possible. This is until now. You see that I want to make the accent here. It was too wet.
A happy accident.
I did oversee the water here. I will not touch it.
Which colors are you mixing there?
I use at this moment cobalt teal blue with a little hint of Payne's blue grey to make the color of the water. You see, actually it's a negative shape because I start with the darks and the light is coming up now. But I want to darken the sea to make the contrast more and more strong.
And you are adding which grey?
Payne's blue grey. There's a little blue in this excellent color, but to use the Arctic color, I mix it with the dual-grown pearl. And just as Lauren did tell us, these brushes can contain a lot of water, so you can work very long.
Is it squirrel?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Can you repeat the name of this turquoise blue that you are using?
Well, what blue?
The name of the color.
The name of the color.
This
I
one.
use Payne's blue grey with cobalt teal blue, with a little hint of dual-grown pearl. That is
This one.
that Arctic
The third
color.
But the name of the Arctic color is?
Dual-grown green pearl. Yeah.
Could you please spell?
I will do it. I will spell. I will take a photo and spell it.
You take a photo and you.
I will do that the same.
I've never heard it and I love it.
But look, of course I love it. I'm wearing it.
Do you want me to spell it? It's duo chrome.
It is.
Green pearl.
Yeah.
D-U-O chrome. D-U-O. Perfect.
You shouldn't use it too much, but it's for the little extra
Why?
tint of Arctic green.
Why we shouldn't use it a lot?
Why not?
Why?
Because it's quite dominant. It can be quite dominant.
So
yeah.
you're going to be accepted into the transparent watercolor.
Sometimes I like dominant things happen in my life, but not always.
This is the part.
From time to time I accept it, but
As an experience.
yeah, exactly. But as long as my paper is wet, I can permit myself to darken it more here, because I love the contrasts. Maybe I can show it in the meantime. See? It's using a negative shape, and you see that the mountains are coming. And again, yeah. When I started my career in the watercolor, I did meet Alvaro Castagnet, and he teach me big brush, small paper. Most people are using very small brushes, but if you have a good brush, then you're okay. And I love always to darken it up.
You give to the brass a hard time, I can say. How long is it living? The brass, you give it a hard time. You go like this in the paint. Is it living long?
Living long?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, yes, I can imagine. I understand. Yes, because buy good and quality tools, and I use them for 2 years.
Really?
They're really new. So buy good paper, buy good brushes. I teach young children, and from 8-10 years, I always bring my own paper, because when you use bad paper or bad brushes, it's not a pleasure to work with. So, and it's for yourself being happy. So good tools is part of the work. Okay. Maybe I can lift. When you're there, it's quite magical what the light is doing. It was very cold and windy. I expected that spring would be there, but no. People told me that there was no real change of the weather, so it was amazing.
Which paper do you like the most?
That's a good question. I love Bauholm. It's very fine paper, but it's equal. This is Saunders Waterford, and 425 gram. It's more heavy, but you can do all what you want with it. So for this, my preference would be Saunders. And as Michael told us already, and I agree totally, the background of the backside of the Saunders is better.
Have you just taken down the paper or stretched it?
No, I never do. I never do. I make only use of my wet and wet. Sometimes when I want to make only clouds, and yeah, I pre-wet it at the backside, because you can work much longer. So it's some time to work on the mountains. These are also Tintoretto brushes. And for this, it is a great work because there are a lot of shadows in the mountains.
And you always clean your palette when you are starting a new part of the painting?
Now yes, because I don't want that the beauty lavender will be ruined by the darks. Lavender is a great color to make shadows in the snow, because there are always shadows. And even if you look at the whites, the most of you know what the Night Watch is from Rembrandt. If you see all the cuffs around their neck, any white is the same. He always used different white colors. So that's making depth by changing tonals. So I start here to make some shadows. Also here I prefer some soft edges. In snow all is soft. But I want to keep this pure white. And now I will use more of the Alvaro's Caliente Grey, which is a very warm grey. I even prefer it beyond sepia. You can do a lot with this color and it gives a nice contrast. So some rocks. I love make use of very strong contrasts. That's the best way to create light. And this is why I love my flat brushes, because you can make beautiful reflections by pulling it downwards. And again I will add some more pure pigment, because when you make your reflections then you remove some what you did put on it. same we'll do here. I use a mix of lavender and a little Alvaro's Caliente Grey because I want to have this part less white as the right part. I'll leave in the top of here some of the white of the paper. I rarely use the white, except I will do here from the tube, and I never use masking fluid. I really not like it because it ruins your brushes and it never has good lines, it's bubbling, so I never use it. It's coming.
Time's over.
Time is over. Oh my gosh.
No, the
Oh
eggs
my
are
gosh.
ready. The eggs are ready. 6 minutes.
You want to go home already?
Not really.
We are so lucky.
There must be some waterfront spot here.
I darken it here more. It's always with watercolors that they're drying up so light. If you're making a dark watercolor and you watch it 2 hours later, it's so much more light. So under the work you see that it's all absorbed by the paper, and it depends also on the paper. Because a solid waterford is quite absorbing quite much. But as you can see, you can do all what you want. With some restrictions maybe, but
It's not going to be perfect, yeah.
no, nothing is perfect in
Because
life.
I notice you're not looking, you're not making it just like the photograph.
It's the perfect imperfection. We are living in a world, we all want perfection. It has to be 5 stars, 6 stars.
No, it
But-
has to be just like the picture, and you're not looking at that photograph at all.
Exactly. I make some reflections. Because there will be a light tower here as well. And I use often quite dry brush strokes. So it's you make use of the texture of the paper. There's a small texture with this paper, so that works
And the
well.
water, is it still wet or?
Well, it's damp. In England they call it damp. So it's
You can still.
half dry. It's half dry. If you can put the line of a pencil and it's still holding, then your paper is dry. When it doesn't hold, it's still wet.
Don't try doing that.
maybe make this mountain some more dark, not too much. I use now little gray, titanium gray, so yeah. Just a little difference in color, a very little bit. That's better. Okay. And again I see that it can be more dark lower. When you have landscapes under the line near here, it's always darker. It gives you the advantage that you make three-dimensional illusion. Because all painting, it's only illusion. We have to do all on a flat paper, but we have to give the illusion that is three-dimensional. So you can play with tonal values and colors to make the illusion that we are in three-dimensional looking. Well, maybe I start with the boat. I love boats, I sailed a lot in my life, so I have a connection with it. The trick is, I want to get the light on the left side of the boat. If you remember the picture, the light is coming from the left. So I want to make use of this little part and keep it white. One of the most attractive things in these boats are the yellow colors, because they are all from wood. They painted in Norway yellow. That can ruin. It's so easy to have a skirt. It works very well. I could better use my rigger. For the very fine details, this works great. It's a rigger with a good belly and a little needle. It's only for details. I make the illusion only from some details, but not too much. It's not needed. Actually, it only goes about the mood. What do you see? What do you feel in the mood when you watch all this beautiness? So on the right side I use quite dark tonal values, but on the left side I keep all the whites. So I use now a little Chinese white.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, because I want to make the illusion that this boat is making speed. Yeah.
Now we know.
Now you know all my secrets. And I add this lovely lighthouse here, because it's like a statue.
And why do you prefer Chinese white instead, for instance, of titanium white?
Actually, there's no preference. No, you can use gouache or
Yeah, or whatever.
it's no, it's not. It's not too important. Titanium white is more powerful,
Yeah.
they say, and maybe it's true, but for this it will do. Maybe I can add some icebergs. I always like some dry brushstrokes because it makes your work interesting. If you use different brushstrokes, then it makes your watercolor more attractive. Maybe I could do here something. Maybe I make the illusion that some seagulls are here to wait for the boat. I can do it. I add some little splashes so I can make them in seagulls. So that's the solution for the troubles you meet from time to time. I only use it for some highlights or a bit of some tricks. And again, if I see that parts are drying up, if you want to make some more accents, you can add some more to give even some more power. Under the white foam, the sea is never really flat. Under the white foam, you can profit with making some more darks to even make more accent.
It seems you know too much about boats.
It seems. Oh yeah. The old man and the sea.
Now, since John is not here, how do you know when to stop? John's question.
When is a painting finished? Rembrandt told us if the painter thinks it's finished. Very wise lesson. But I don't like if an horizon is not straight.
And don't use a ruler. Study how to
This
study.
should be some little details in that.
Maybe some pieces of ice are floating in the horizon. It's not straight.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You can come here.
Thank you so much for watching. People who want to look in one of my albums, because we have 10 minutes, I quite often make some small sketches when I don't want to spend too many times a day on watercolor. And I have my small book. Often they are prepared for bigger works, and most of them are done in half an hour. So also this one, I put it in my book. Sometimes very small examples of nature. So you can have a look.
Jan, mag je omdraaien?
Ja.